I just went through 100 Instagram theme pages that are pulling $10,000 or more a month. And I found the one thing that every single one of them is doing. And understand, guys, it's not their follower count. It's not their niche. It's not how often they're posting. Pages with 100,000 followers are doing it. Pages in completely random niches are doing it. And even pages that don't go viral every single post are doing it. I know this because one of my Instagram theme pages is pulling $10,000 a month right now. And the moment I locked in on this one thing, everything changed. I'm giving you the full breakdown right now. So lock in, take notes, and let's get into it. All right, guys, I studied 100 theme pages making 10K a month. And here's their exact secret. So we're going to be going over in this video, wasting 0 views, volume, obsession over the right metrics, page fatigue is non-existent, learn and apply, build an audience, not just content, quick moving, optimizing data, and niche strengths. So before we get into that, guys, why should you listen to me? Well, like I said, I've scaled multiple theme pages, and this is one of my pages right here. We're well over 300,000 followers now. The screenshot's a little bit old, but this is a page in the sports niche, as you can see here. This is a screenshot of us doing over $100 a day from the bonus program. We get anywhere from 40 to 60 million views a month, mostly just from carousels. As you can see here, this is us making $800 from one video. This is a $5,000 brand deal that we do. This is a $5,000 brand deal that we've done. This is a $3,500 brand deal that we've done. This is a $1,700 bonus payment for 15 days. Here's us making almost $2,000 from a single video. And here's me, clearing over $700 from one page. And this is all ran by me. I've also helped tons of students do the same exact thing, whether they come to me with 0 followers, trying to scale with no social media experience, or they're already making a few grand a month, they're looking to take it to the next level, or maybe they don't know how to monetize and they have the followers, they just don't have monetization. It doesn't matter where you're at in your theme page journey, I can help you take it to the next level. And I have done that with many students in the past. I made my first $10,000 online while still in college, while still working 2 internships, while going to school XYZ, and I've helped scale multiple theme pages to 100K followers. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. So the first thing I see, guys, is wasting 0 views, right? So if you're going to scale to 10K plus a month, right? Some of you guys are probably pulling hundreds of millions of views a month, and you're just not doing anything with those views. So every single post needs to have some type of monetization path, even if it's very subtle, even if it's a soft CTA at the end of your reels, even if it's just a link in bio, whatever it is. People landing on your page constantly while you're asleep, while you're working, whatever it is, you need to have a chance to make money whenever they land on your page. Some people, I go to their page and it's almost like I have to search to even see where you are potentially making money from. There's no offer right off the bat. There's nothing in the stories. There's no CTAs, nothing. And I've seen pages with millions of followers that don't have any CTAs anywhere, aren't monetizing in any way, shape, or form. And they are just leaking money constantly. Every single one of your views should come in and should have layered monetization paths. Maybe a high ticket, maybe something in your bio, maybe you have something on your story that's something else. Maybe you have pinned posts, pinned comments promoting something else, whatever it is. You should have affiliate offers running at the bare minimum. They think, how can this post make money before they even post it? And they build pages where attention naturally leads to offers. So now every single time I build out a page and I just build out a new page that's selling a digital product, and I'm already doing over $1,000 a month with it. And with that being said, before I ever even built the page or the content strategy or anything, I built the product first and I said, okay, how can I get people to get to this product? And then I built the content strategy off of that. And now it's just driving everything straight to the product as I knew it would. Bio, pin posts, captions, they're all working together as a funnel. Now, I'm not saying to promote on every single piece of content. I'm just saying you need to have some type of monetization path in place unless you're under 10,000 followers. If you're under 10,000 followers, just grow to 10K. But if you're over 10K and you're not trying to push people at least in a soft way at the end of your reel captions or something saying, hey, by the way, go sign up to our newsletter, go get this affiliate product, whatever it is, you're just leaking money. They treat views like currency, not like vanity metrics. If you see my stories, I talk about this a lot on Instagram. I don't believe in vanity metrics. If you have followers, if you're getting views, if you're getting likes, you can convert those into actual money. You just have to know how. And if you're not, you're leaking money. And when I first started, I probably garnered over 2 billion, 3 billion views before I ever really locked down monetization. I was just growing pages, selling pages, whatever. I didn't have a clear monetization path on any of my pages, and I just leaked so much money. But I was younger in high school and middle school, whatever, when I was just growing pages for fun. And I wasn't fully aware of exactly what to do. But now every single time, like I said, when I'm starting a new page, growing a page, the monetization path is number one, and then everything else comes after that. With that being said, guys, the next thing here is they prioritize volume early. Just like I was talking about with the new page I'm starting with the digital product, or that I've already started, it's already selling, I prioritize volume first. So you have to find out what works, right? So they understand that more volume equals faster feedback. So these people that are doing massive numbers online, 10K, 20K, 30K from theme pages, they understand that the more content they put out, the more chance they have to monetize, the more learning that they get, right? So if I put out 100 posts, I'm able to find a winning strategy way quicker than someone that is posting, you know, let's say I post 100 posts in a month versus someone that's posting 100 posts in 100 days. I'm learning way faster than the other person. So maybe you don't have time to do it. You should at least be getting a post out every single day, bare minimum. With that being said, if you have extra time on your hands, you don't know how to really go viral consistently yet, you should just be hitting volume as much as possible. Now, with that being said, I'm not telling you just post a million times. No, you need to post, look at the data, break down the data. Instagram's giving you the cheat code by giving you literally the data of every single person that clicks on your post. Figure out what you can do better, where you went wrong, and then go from there. More posts equals more data equals faster improvement. The early stage is about learning, not perfection, because once you monetize the backend, you know, I created a page, new digital product. I have the backend set up. The landing page is good. The product is selling. Now it's literally just scaling content up, finding exactly what type of content works, what formats work, and being able to get millions and millions of views a month. And the more views I can get at this point, the more money that's going to go into my pocket. They don't wait for good ideas. They create reps, or they're looking around, and we're going to get into this, but they're looking around at other niches. They're looking around at what's currently working on Instagram. If you looked at Instagram 5 years ago versus now, it would look completely different. You have to figure out what's working in other niches, working in your niche, and start to break down and replicate some of these things. Most people post too little and learn too slow, or they're not even learning at all. They're just posting a bunch and they're not looking at the data at all. They're posting things that have never gone viral once before, and they don't know why things aren't working. So you can see the graph here. The more that you post, the quicker you learn. This is the learning curve going up. The fewer you post, it's just very, very slow rise. So this person is going to be able to sell a product quicker, learn their audience quicker, create better content quicker than this person ever will. The next thing is they obsess over the hooks. So as you can see here, I've taken my post. All the stuff I've blurred out is secondary to this right here, right? This is number one. You need to understand your hooks, obsess over your hooks, and figure out how to make good hooks. You know, the first line determines everything. If I create a 20-slide carousel, no one cares about any of it if my hook is bad. They spend more time on hooks than the rest of the post. My editor's sitting there chopping up 30, 40 hooks every single time. Back when I would make content, I was sitting there chopping up 30, 40 hooks every single time for each post and picking the ones that work best and figuring out over time which ones work best, to the point now where my editors, where I can just look at the hook and know exactly what's going to work. And then you can take that skill and apply it to every single niche, guys. Social media is a very scalable skill if you understand that things can be repeated across any niche. They spend more time on hooks than the rest of the post, and a bad hook kills even great content. So like I said, you could have the best 20-slide carousel you've ever made. If the hook is bad, no one's going to look at it. They test multiple hook styles consistently. You'd always be testing different hook styles, different first posts, different headline graphics, the whole 9 yards, figuring out what works. Hooks equal attention, attention equals growth. The next thing here, guys, is they study winning pages daily. So this is something I do every single morning. Those of you that see me on Instagram see me doing this every single morning. First thing I do at 5 a.m. when I get up is I get on for about an hour and a half, and I'm just researching content, researching what's working. Obviously, I use some softwares that feed me this information quicker, but before I had these softwares, before I was paying for softwares, I was able to just get up and just search on Twitter, search on Instagram, figure out which pages are growing the quickest, which pages are working, and then just figure out how can I apply that to my niche. They constantly analyze pages ahead of them. I'm always looking at pages, million followers, 10 million followers, 5 million followers. What are they doing? How many times are they posting? What are they posting? How do they post? What do their captions look like? XYZ. How many reels, how many carousels are they doing a day? And I'm doubling down and doing the same exact thing as them. They break down viral posts instead of just consuming them. I don't ever doom scroll anymore, right? I don't doom scroll ever. And even back when I used to doom scroll, right? If something pops up with 10 million likes, or I saw a theme page get an absurd amount of likes, 1 million, 3 million likes, really the ceiling for theme pages on a single post, I would dive in and really look, okay, why did this go viral? And not just what hook do they use, XYZ. What type of content is this? Is this emotional content? Is this funny content? And then what's the niche that this was posted in? Why did this explode so much? Nowadays, it's like every single time I'm looking for content, right? I'm able to be like, okay, this is emotional. I know that performs well. If I pair that up with this in my niche, I'll be able to put out a piece of content that gets 1 million views in 12 hours. They treat scrolling as research, not just entertainment, right? Like I said, I don't doom scroll anymore. You should never doom scroll. And if you're someone that's doom scrolling, at least as someone that's on social media, at least doom scroll and try to figure out, okay, what is this post doing? Like as you're doom scrolling, actually look at the content, look at the likes, look at the time that it was posted, and figure out, okay, how is this a high performing post? Is this a low performing post? post? Why did this perform well? And take your doom scrolling habit and turn it into a study session and study the content. Even if it's not theme pages, even if it's just normal influence creators, whatever, you're gonna apply the same tactics, the same ideas to theme pages. They look for patterns, not one-off wins. Like I said, when I'm studying pages, when I'm looking at winning pages constantly, I'm looking at, okay, what type of format are they posting? What type of content are they posting? What's the trend right now? How many followers are they gaining? Figuring out exactly how I can do that in my niche. This is extremely important, especially when you are selling a product. They build an audience, not just content. They think about who they are attracting, not just what they are posting, right? So this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. When I create a page now that's selling a digital product, or even if I want to do brand deals, XYZ, etc., I'm thinking about the monetization aspect number one. If this is the product I'm selling, what is the person that wants this product? What needs do they have? What emotions are they having currently? And how can I create content that's going to attract that exact person, appeal to their emotions, and then push them to my product that the landing page is going to double down on their emotions and then sell? So understand that as you're creating content, you're figuring out the emotions, the issues that they're having, and then you're creating content that attracts that exact person. Every single post reinforces a specific audience type. They don't sway too far away, especially if you're selling a digital product. You kind of have to stay very niche down exactly to what your audience is. You don't want to post too general, right? Because you're just getting an audience that's not going to buy, but you still want to make sure your page is growing. They build trust over time, not just reach, right? So you're not just trying to go viral, you're trying to build trust, you're trying to get followers, you're trying to give them free value in some way, or teach them something, or show them something that maybe they didn't get somewhere else. So that way it makes a little bit more sense to buy from you. Monetization becomes easier when audience is aligned. When your audience is aligned, right? Some of you guys have very specific pages and very specific niches, targeting very specific people. If that's you, you're probably in your head right now thinking, okay, I know exactly what type of digital product this person would want. If you run a motivation page, everyone that's coming to you is probably looking to get motivated, looking to get disciplined. You could provide a tool that motivates people, or that disciplines people, right? Some type of tracker every single morning. Then the person is coming to you, motivation, right? They're scrolling their phone, they're looking for motivation. A motivational post pops up, they like it, right? They like your post. 2 days later, your post shows up again. Okay, now they follow you. Now they're looking through your stuff. Now they see one of your carousels, and at the end of the carousel, it says, hey, if you're trying to get disciplined, if you're trying to really lock in, go get our discipline tracker for $5. Boom, they go to your bio, buy the discipline tracker. They've gotten those emotions from you. They've gotten the fact that you're posting motivational content. Maybe it's helped them, maybe it's made them feel good. Now that you're pushing a product, it makes sense to buy. And then just keep your products within that impulse buy range of $5 to $30. You're selling $1,000 products, right? There's a little bit more to it, obviously. Content is the vehicle, audience is the asset. Understand content is essentially your engine, your fuel tank, right? You have to keep putting out content or it's gonna die off. And then whoever that content is attracting, that's your asset, that's who you can convert. The next thing here, guys, and this is something that I do extremely well. If you follow any of my pages, I move very fast on trends, right? So trends give you the ability to explode, right? You can always grow. If your page isn't growing and you think it's because you're shadow banned, or you think it's because it's just the off season or whatever, you're just not putting out good content, right? Your page can always grow. If your page isn't growing, you gotta double down on content, you gotta figure that out. But with that being said, moving fast on trends allows you to explode your growth, right? So if you normally are gaining 1,000 followers a day, if you move on a trend, you can start to gain 10,000, 20,000 in a day, right? They catch trends early, not late. So like I said, I use softwares and things like that pull content and help when I'm helping my clients with the content and stuff. If people are struggling with content, they get access to the softwares and everything too. But if you don't have access to softwares, you don't need softwares. You just need to be paying attention, and you need to know how to research and find accounts that are growing quickly. And once you see trends, or once you start to see something pop up 2 or 3 times, but trend could be the typical trend, right? An audio or some type of post, but it could also be formats. It could be the way that people post their content. For example, there was a time when super small content like this, you probably saw it, was going viral on Instagram for a couple days. It was like not really a bug, but I think Instagram just forgot to pull it out. But you could essentially post content that was super slim, skinny aspect ratio, and it was performing super well, because when someone would scroll on their feed, they'd be like, why is this, it's throwing them off. So it was performing super well. So people that hopped on that trend quick, you probably saw all the NFL teams, all the NBA teams, all the sports teams, all the social media companies hopped on that trend immediately, influencers, whatever. and got those posts out. Now, if you can find out how to turn those people into followers, you exploded your growth during that time. Speed matters more than perfection, right? So you can sit there and be like, oh, look, I've seen this slim post 10 times. I'm gonna get it up next week. Well, by next week, it's worthless, right? You've waited too long. They're plugged into what's working right now, whether that's them being in touch with other people, whether that's them following someone like me, looking at my stories and seeing when I'm posting stuff like this, plugging people in, other theme page people, whatever, or they're looking at influencers, looking at people that are constantly posting content, looking at the big players in the game, Mr. Beast, people like that are on top of content, and they're figuring out what's working right now. Late posts rarely perform well, and timing is everything. The next thing, and one of the biggest things that I preach, is optimizing based on data, right? They're tracking what works, they're doubling down on it. They look at saves, shares, and follows, not just likes, and they're constantly trying to improve and get better based off the data, based off the metrics. So you see the screenshot here on the left, sorting by highest views, sorting by highest amount of follows, whatever. This is all data that Instagram gives to you. And it blows my mind that some people don't use it, right? You can literally customize it by any amount of time. You can customize it by last week, 2 weeks ago, the last 90 days, the last year, whatever you want to do, and see exactly what content has done the best. And if you're not using that to your advantage, you're simply going to fall behind. They adjust based on performance, not emotion, not what they think is going to work, but what's actually working based off what they've literally are looking at from Instagram. And every post teaches them something. So whether that means the post flopped, a post did really good, they're using the data that it gives them, they're figuring out why it worked. Maybe it's the format, maybe it's the hook, whatever, and they're doubling down on that. And growth is intentional, not random, right? I understand if I post this type of post, it has a chance to go viral. If I add this CTA to it, it's probably going to gain me 1,000, 2,000 followers today. Understand that once you get to that point, growth isn't just random, right? When I first started, growth was literally random. I was just posting and hoping. And that's where everyone starts, and that's okay. But you need to try to continue to get that up to the point where it's down to a science and you're able to look at posts, know what works, and just continue to double down. And Instagram, social media in general, is constantly changing. So it's impossible to just always have it down to a complete science like that. But you can have in general what your audience likes and things of that nature and double down on what's working. And the last thing is, guys, they understand their niche strengths. They pick monetization based on niche behavior, not preference. So people come to me all the time, how do I monetize? How do I monetize this niche XYZ? Go and look at what's working in your niche. How are other people monetizing? Go, if there's a page with 4 million followers and they're using a newsletter to monetize, chances are that's probably working, right? And if everyone in your niche is using newsletters to monetize, that's probably the best route for you, right? If everyone's selling a digital product, that probably means that you are in a highly emotional niche. It's going to work for you, right? If everyone's doing brand deals, go with that. If everyone's doing a mix, whatever, you can always test things out. If you want to test out brand deals, reaching out to brands, see if it works. If it doesn't work, try something else. But if you see someone else in your niche, especially the larger pages doing something, and it seems like they know what they're doing with it, probably because it started to work, then they optimized it and now it's working really well. Some niches convert on digital products, others affiliates, brand deals, they know the difference, right? They know exactly. Every single person that comes to me, they give me, usually, especially people that are just starting, give me a list of their niches and what they're passionate in. And I'll be like, okay, if you go into this niche, you're gonna monetize this way. If you go into that niche, you're gonna monetize that way. And that's how it works, right? And me and other people that are making good money from this, they understand exactly what's working and how to create a new page and exactly how to monetize. Maybe if you just started your page, maybe you never started a page, whatever, that's fine. And it's just looking at what's going on in other niches, how people are monetizing, and then trying to get to that level and testing things out. They study what already works in their niche, they're doubling down on it. They don't force monetization, they align with demand. Like I said, you don't want to just force something in your audience face. You don't want to just promote 100 products every single day. Find out what's working, don't force it. And it should, I mean, once you have the right product, once you have a winning product, you shouldn't have to force it too much. You just promote it here and there, and it's going to drive sales pretty quickly. They understand audience psychology, not just content. They understand if I post this and it appeals to this emotion, it's probably gonna get me more sales, versus if I post this, it's gonna get me more followers. And if I post this, it's gonna get me more saves, more shares, probably more, go viral. Figure out those type of things, audience psychology, what people like, what causes people to buy. You're gonna be in a really good position. And with that being said, guys, if you wanna take your theme page to the next level, if you wanna work with me one-on-one, the link to apply is the first link down below. I'm taking a couple more clients this month, and I'm lining up clients for next month too. I have one guy I'm working with next month that couldn't get started this month. So if you're interested, go click and apply down below. Pick a time to hop on a call with me. Take a look at your theme pages, take a look at what you're doing. And if you're a good fit, we're gonna work together and it's going to be really good. And you can go to my Instagram, the second link down below. Look at my stories. I post stories every single day, walking you through how I grow my pages live in real time, walking you through my routines, things like that. I also post reels and have client testimonials and things like that on my page. So go check that out as well. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.